Hello everyone and welcome back to Southern Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. As you guys know, it greatly helps the channel. So, Bitcoin continued to go lower, same as Ethereum, same as altcoins, same as everything. Stocks also had a bit of a difficult week. They seem to be putting up a nice Friday. Can it be that the bottom is in, or is it a dead cat bounce? That's for anyone to guess. Both options can be true. I guess we will know. I guess we'll know soon enough in the future. Bonds have stabilized, which is good to see. I'm not sure if you've been paying attention, but bonds, including European bonds as well, have been trading quite in this range for a long time. So, for example, if you look at the German 10-year yield, you see that it goes to the 273, 274, and then it pulls back from that into the 250s, 58, 56, and then we go back up to the 270s. Obviously, when yields are very high, that sucks liquidity out of the market. So risk assets tend to react quite negatively. Now, is this something amazing? To be honest, it's pretty much what happened during Trump's first term. In his first term, also, bonds were kind of always trading within a certain range. I know that they want them trading lower in terms of yields because that means less interest to be paid on the debt. Will they be able to get there? Unclear. Depends on who they get on the Fed. So Powell will be out middle of May 2026, and every day, every week, every month that goes by, we get a little bit closer to that. And then it doesn't really matter how inflation is looking, doesn't really matter about this or the other. The reality is someone's going to be there to do the president's bidding, which I am not in favor when they do it for the Democrats. I'm not in favor when they do it for the Republicans, but what I think is irrelevant. So, for example, when people make, oh my God, the Trump is going to destroy defend independence, I always laugh because Janet Yellen kept interest rates at zero throughout the entire Obama presidency, raised rates as soon as Trump got in office, and then proceeded to be part of the Treasury Department when Biden was in office. So the whole independence thing is out of the window. And by the way, so you don't say, oh, here you go against the Democrats, Bernanke, who was the Fed chairman when Bush was president, said, oh, we had to say that everything was contained to the subprime because we were part of the administration at the time. So they told you, both Republicans and Democrats. So what I'm against is when people pretend. So I'm much more in favor of a Fox News or CNN that will tell you, I am completely biased. There's no question. Anybody who watches it gets the clear picture. This is the Republican adoring view in Fox News, and this is the Democrat adoring view in CNN. And we get it. We all get it. Things that I don't like is things like The Economist and things like the Financial Times that pretend to be independent and impartial. That's where it triggers me in terms of getting angry about it. But in any case, so let's go back and see what happened. Okay, so what happened? We had a massive government shutdown, I think the longest in history. Guess what? Liquidity was drawn completely out of the system. Who is the first to feel it? You know it. Crypto. Why? Because crypto reacts the most to liquidity when it's positive. So when liquidity resumes, it's also the one that reacts the strongest. So crypto reacts the strongest to the downside. Now, it didn't react immediately as the shutdown took place. Why? Because it takes time for the liquidity getting drawn from the system or not being produced due to the government shutdown. That takes some time to have an effect. The same way that now the liquidity is coming back to the market with the government reopening, it also takes some time to be seen. Now, stocks can handle it better because stocks have always, first of all, there's always buying from the 401ks and the IRAs and all of this, but also stocks do share buybacks. So the company buys their own stock. So you can keep up this let's say, this disconnect with liquidity a little bit longer. But if you give it enough time, then they also revert to the selling, which is exactly what happened. Now the government has reopened. There are seemingly, finally, some progress with the Russian and Ukrainian conflict. And I've mentioned this before. There's absolutely zero pricing in of that conflict getting solved. Zero. Nobody's pricing it in at all. Which means if it happens, I'm not predicting it's going to happen. I'm just saying if it happens, it will completely catch the market off guard. It will make a huge relief of pressure from inflation or from inflation fears, and will improve sentiment also amongst companies dramatically, which means the business cycle should kick in a little bit better. Liquidity should be created once again. Inflation should come down, allowing for lower interest rates, etc., etc., etc. Am I predicting this scenario? No. I'm saying it's something that can happen, because people always like to go on YouTube or everywhere and come up with scenarios of the Titanic, right? And what I'm making the scenario is, what if instead of the Titanic, just throwing it out there, instead of the Titanic, what if you have a better than expected ride from London to the US? That's all I'm saying. What if you get better winds? What if you don't get any storm? What if something happens that is better than expected? I'm a very big fan now of analogies, apparently. I don't know how I got this, but I think it's actually should be a little bit helpful to realize. So this is the situation for stocks. I don't know if the bottom is in or not. I guess we'll have to wait and see. My thesis for the long term remains unchanged, which is they will create more currency. That currency will find its way to the stock market and other risk assets. So if you give enough time, can you have corrections? Yes. Can you have bear markets? Yes. Can you have nasty drawdowns that feels like crap? Yes. You give it enough meaningful time. If my thesis plays as I believe, eventually a little bit, maybe a year, maybe 6 months, maybe whatever, you see a new all-time high. I'm not saying that it's going to take 6 months to get a new all-time high. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is in general. I'm talking about a general assumption. And by the way, this is my opinion. I think I'm entitled to one, okay? So you don't have to copy me. You don't have to follow what you can disagree with me. You can call me a clown in the comment section. It's all fine. I don't mind. It's just my opinion. And we'll see. Last time that I said this, a lot of people were calling me crazy when we were back in April, and I said, give it a little bit of time and we'll see new all-time highs. Are you crazy? Have you seen the trade war with the tariffs and this kind of 80% tariffs and all this kind of stuff? Oh, that's it. This was the ultimate top and it's going to last for the next decade. And a few months later, we were hitting new all-time highs. So I've heard all of this before. It's always the same story. Let's move on. Now with crypto. I've said 100,000 times, and I always say it because no YouTuber will tell you, so I'll tell you. Crypto and Bitcoin can go to zero, and you have to live with that possibility. It is a possibility that it goes to zero. Do I think it's going to go to zero? No. Can it go? Yes. Do I think we are in the bear market? No. Can we be? Yes. So the reason why I think we are not in the bear market is because we didn't see any of the conditions whatsoever that would trigger the bear market and would trigger the blow off top in the bull market. Because I haven't seen them, I'm inclined to believe that the bull market is on. If I had to give it a probability, I would say 70-30. So 70, yes, it's going on. 30, the top is in, and we have to wait another year and a half or so to see anything. So if you ask me, I think the bull market is on. So to be very clear, I'm not going to force you to stay here and listen to me talk for the entire video to then find out at the end that I don't have an opinion, which is usually how these videos play out on YouTube. So that's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess we'll see soon enough. The reason why I think is quite simple. None of the conditions, liquidity maxed out, business cycle in the 58, 60s, complete euphoria, complete madness, $1 million for pictures of monkeys, whatever you want to think about it. Number one downloading app in App Store, Coinbase being the number one download app. No euphoria, no athletes demanding payment in Bitcoin, none of those things we've seen. But most importantly, liquidity has not peaked out, and business cycle has definitely not peaked out. We're not even above 50 yet. We're not even in expansion yet. The real altcoin seasons usually happen when the ISM is 53, 54. It's currently like 48. So we are in contraction still today. So that's what makes me feel that the top is not in. Can it be in? Sure. So now you have two camps, and it's actually quite hilarious because we're gonna have a decision coming out of this, and it's gonna be, in the short term, we're gonna find out who is right, who is wrong, because there are two very strong camps that are in discussion right now. Camp number one, I would consider myself more in that camp, which is liquidity cycles, business cycles, euphoria, what else? Real top signals actually matter. So that's my camp. The other camp is 4-year cycles, because it has always been 4-year cycles. And Bitcoin is kind of a gift from Satoshi, and Satoshi is like the second coming of Jesus, and it's been declared in stone. There's nothing you can do about it. It has been declared that a crypto cycle is 4 years. You wait a year in the bear market, you buy, you go away, you count to 4, you come back, you sell, and everyone is aware of it. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows the start and the end, and everyone gets rich at the same time. So that's the camp number 2. Can the camp number 2 be correct? Yes. Again, yes. That's the part that I give 30% probability. Okay? And I give 70% to option 1. Maybe I'm wrong. One thing is clear to me. One of these will be wrong. So one of these big factions of crypto, or factions of markets, or whatever you want to call it, will disappear after this cycle. Either the global liquidity business cycle top signals will be completely destroyed, so people like me, RAOUL, Paul, etc. will look like complete clowns, possible, or it's nothing written in stone. There's no tablet by Moses 2.0 and no second coming of Jesus that declared it has to be 4 years, regardless of the conditions. It doesn't matter at all. There's no connection. It's purely that simple. You buy after 1 year of bear market and you count to 4, or in this case, count to 3. So 2022, you count to 3, 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's the top. Goodbye. See you again in a year. Who's going to be right? I don't know. That's what we're going to find out. I have my suspicion, and I've told you why I have my suspicion. Will it actually end up being? It's just 4 years, period. Memorize it, you idiot. It's all there is. Don't overthink anything. And we just had a very soft cycle with zero euphoria. And what we ended up doing was transferring our funds to very wealthy people. Possible. I guess we'll find out. In this scenario, people like Wall Street, BlackRock, the US president, the UAE government, etc., 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 will all be losing money. With quite some extended time period. We'll see. We'll see. You see, I'm always more inclined to be on the side of these people, not because I love them, but because unfortunately they have way much more money than me and way much more power. So I rather go with the ride rather than fight it go with the current instead of fighting it. But maybe it was the right thing to do, and all of these institutions will lose money. Again, very possible. The good part of all of this is I will find out very soon. And in the great scheme of things, I do believe, because that's how the system is set up, that liquidity will keep on getting created. And if I have to wait a couple more years, I guess that's going to be my destiny. What can I do? I have a good job. As I've said, I never put myself in the position that my family suffers if I'm wrong. So that's what I can focus, that's how I'm thinking. So the point of this video is I'm giving you a little bit of an insight of how my mind is going. And the good part of all of this, as I said, we very soon will find out which case is which. And if the cycle continues, a lot of KOLs will be in a very difficult spot because all of them are out. All of them, the ones that actually give financial advice, told their followers to sell. Everyone is sold or is selling the rest of what they have. And good luck with that, because if you're wrong, you're going to have a very hard time to justify why people should be keep giving you money for these master courses and these private groups and the likes if you are completely and utterly wrong. So I guess we'll find out very quick. Until then, let's have some fun. Let's enjoy the weekend. If it's winter where you are, maybe you can see a little bit of snow. If it's now summer, maybe you can go a little bit to the beach. Point is, try to enjoy with your family and your loved ones. And I guess in the next couple of weeks, we will be seeing all of this unfold. And with that, thank you very much for your support, guys. Don't forget, drop that like and subscribe. As you guys know, it greatly helps the channel. And I'll catch you in the next one.